Let's see if he gets agency. For context here, Mad Lions, happy that Excel lost that previous game, but of course I want to pick up the win here. SK Gaming is currently at 4-3, so they're doing quite well, and we haven't touched on SK yet. Yamato, what are the pitfalls of drafting versus SK?
I think that what you need to pay attention to is just the Draven, I would say. Are you going to invite a situation where Exakin can play Draven? I think coming into 4-5, you need to also be very mindful of the Gnar, potentially the Sion, if your composition is weakened to it, because I think when it comes to the solo laners, they have these niche picks that kind of break down the enemy composition. Maybe the Certus Akali is something that you can target too.
100%. I think Relevant the last couple games too has been playing like bigger tanks on the top side. They've been playing more aggressive like kill lanes down bot side with the Akali mid as well. So there is a world here where Irrelevant does go that route, and Chasey has options to try and find, you know, one of his more niche counter pick options into a tanky top side. So I would expect Irrelevant to maybe stray away from that, take something a little bit safe, but the Sion is always going to be something on the cards for SK.
I'm hoping that we see a Rakan ban here from SK, or just a slam Mad Lions first pick Rakan. Okay, denying the Hilly champs. I just hope that Hilly can counterpick. I just wish that happens when we see a Hilly Braum, or he gets to play those rel angles, maybe a pike angle. I think that's when Hilly's in his element.
100%, especially, and I do like this for Mad Lions if they could get the Xayah on the cards.
Because of the Vi, right? Yeah.
The Vi, the heavy dive on the opposite side. If there's like a Scion, these things in the mix. Like, I just think Xayah solves so many problems against some of the more popular meta champions that are trying to dive in your backline.
I think a key thing about Xayah is that the enemy will feel very awkward about locking in Vi themselves, because Xayah just counters this champion. And then already, if you lock in Vi, you can even consider, oh, okay, they locked in Vi anyway.
Marketing's not afraid of that.
He doesn't care. I hope they just slam Sejuani now and just enjoy a game, or maybe Wukong. Xayah is very good into Vi, but you can also argue that Vi is good into Zeri, so it's just two schools of thought.
I know Yoya has like the Wukong, but I do like the, well, it's actually just going to be a Lee Sin Lissandra angle. So, okay, so throw that out of the water, right? We don't need to go scaling options, but this is a very easy combination to play around mid lane, especially if you get Hylissang on a roaming support, which is usually what you'd like to see next to a Xayah. That's about as simple as it gets.
I wonder now if SK are going to go for the Lulu route, or if they're just going to slam a mid lane that is good into the Lissandra. Key thing about what Mad Lions have drafted so far is that they pick champions that are all good into Vi. That's a Sylas counter into Liss.
Yeah.
Sylas with Lissandra is a very dangerous champion, and this is usually not something that you want to do blind with Lissandra, but this time we did see it, similar to the Vitality game.
Yeah, also just your healing, I think, diving in as a Sylas, where before you use Lissandra ult, you're getting one W off, you Liss ult, you heal, yes. When you come back, your W is off cooldown again. Like, that gives you so much survivability, and I think so many ults that Sylas can steal that give you added tankiness or added durability in a fight is an insane pairing, because it means you get 2 or sometimes even more rotations of your main spells off.
I wonder now if Mad Lions are going to ban the Lulu or invite the Lulu and counterpick it. I think that's the main question, because SK is the type of team that are going to be wanting to last pick support. Irrelevant is the guy that is going to throw himself on the sword to make sure that SK have a very good bot lane matchup.
I'd expect Mad Lions to also get rid of the Sion here. They're banning away the Malphite. The Sion 2 is another option. Like, again, just the heavy dive to sort of supplement. Because right now, Sylas, Vi are both trying to go in. If a Sion could charge in there and burn the Xayah ult, Vi can follow super easily.
For sure, for sure. The banning all of the all-in supports to the Hilly Classics. I wonder now if the Lulu ban's going to come in or not. Because in the end, maybe Hilly's just going to slam maybe a Leona game, something like this. I wonder which direction Hilly's going to go for in this one. Sadly, picking Pike into this is horrible, so we're not going to see a Pike.
Pike would not have a lot of fun here.
It would be super, super bad.
But exactly that's why he'll do it.
Oh,
Maybe.
is that the strategy?
No, I don't think so.
Hilly wants a little bit of a challenge, but okay, interesting. The Soraka has been something that Oz has played here. I think it was paired with the Draven previously, but taking that one away. So, I mean, I would say, yeah, I can get on board with the Lulu here.
I wonder if this is their idea of either you pick Lulu or we're gonna pick Lulu. Okay, so they invited the Lulu. Let's see where we're going, Hilly. Make my day. A little Sion, maybe? Not sure. Chasey Sion is not something we've seen. The Kesanta is a classic of his.
It probably just ends up being like a Gnar or something, is what I imagine. But then you're also giving a Gnar over to a Sylas as well, so that makes Sylas very happy. Like, it's kind of tough to find something that Sylas
everything makes Sylas happy, right?
This is very true.
Usually, so.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. not buffed yet, the cannon. We're 30.4, so still, you know... Oh, he goes Pike anyway. Okay. Picking Pike into this is rough, but Hilly is a magician. He's a professor. Give him whatever title you want.
We were
He's gonna figure
Hilly.
it out.
This is what I'm saying, though. I feel like Mad Lions put themselves in like very narrow positions, right? Like you have so many abilities to play around the mid lane and make that work. But I feel like if you're not finding a ton of success around mid, how do you win fights later on, right? Like you have no real front line. It's all about finding picks, getting a huge engage to kick things off. But LEC is gonna have to do some magic to start team fights later on.
This is, and the Scion as well is so good into composition. I feel like, once again, I 100% agree with you, and the window of agency is so limited. They need to snowball through 3v3 on mids and hope that it works out somehow. But SK can take their time, and that's where SK is the happiest, when they have time on their side.
It's like the monkey paw curls when you talked about Hylissang and what you wanted to see from him, and then he picks Pike into this composition.
It's a very rough one. Like, Vi ult is hard. Silas with Pike ultimate is crazy. Zeri is beefy and very slippery. If someone's gonna make it with Pike, it's Hilly though, so, you know. Fingers crossed for our boy.
Fingers crossed indeed for the Mad Lions, because they definitely need the wins, and SK for me is definitely the favorite in this matchup overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think SK has been playing phenomenally. 4th place finish in winter, carrying that over into very good performances time and time again in spring. To me, looking after the draft, I'm even more confident. I think, again, it comes down to playing around mid. I'm very excited to see the Kennen on the top side for Chasey. He's been very good on more carry-oriented picks, but I think this one's really hard to pull off for Mad Lions.
Oh, a difficult one to pull off, but you gotta respect the choice. You gotta respect the Pike from the side of Hylissang.
Hi, Capstad.
Capstad, who's always I think I saw Kakuka also in the audience.
Kakuka, X-Warrior, some of the VCT friends
awesome.
in the studio.
So great fans to watch. Hopefully a fantastic game, SK versus Mad.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Now, there's a lot of exciting things happening in this game. Didn't think you were going to show me on camera. That's a bit awkward. This is a wrist stretch. Hello. Firstly, if we can get the sweet, is there a sweet party hat graphic for Carzzy, or are we just ad-libbing this one? We're ad-libbing it. This is Carzzy's. No, that's Secret Labs. Okay, we'll wait. We'll give the chair their due time. Yeah, chair. Thank you.
Love a good chair.
That's some. It's a nice sponsor moment there. Anyway, the man of the hour, none other than Carzzy. 200 games in the LEC. There's the party hat. That's what we were waiting for. That's the celebration with the cute little ooh-woo face. He's out here.
He's dyed his hair as well.
He's got, I think, a prestige skin. I can't keep up. So many skins.
No idea. Looks cool, though.
Very golden. Maybe a chroma.
Feathers.
A lot of feathers.
Love the feathers.
Anyway, side note, stakes for this game. Mad Lions currently at a 68.8. Oh,
you just say 69%.
69% chance for a tiebreaker, which is sick as that is, will go up to 90, nearly 91% if they find a win here. Big for the team. On the opposite side, SK winning not only locks themselves, but also Koi in for top 8 and for group stage. So
Koi will be watching this game in anticipation. So, we've got Lissandra Lee Sin, classic. I think Peanut and Chovy were playing that today in the LCK. So much kill pressure over sides. Nisqy, nice trading. Didn't get the Q, but a lot of kill pressure over sides, a lot of kill pressure in mid, but Sylas is one of the best answers to this. When you get towards that level 6, you can self-ult, you can use your ult aggressively and set up with the Vi. A lot of chain CC there. After they're playing the Kennen. This is not the 13.5 Kennen, but it is a Kennen, so we'll see what he can
level
cook
1,
up.
Hylissang, hook in, dash through on level 2. Hellblades! He's just gonna hit him! Oh, just the 1, 2, 3 with the little dagger there.
Damn, that prediction. I feel like that can't have been a reaction. It was so quick. I feel like he was there before them.
2 sums for 1. He exists on a different spectrum of time. That's why sometimes the plays look questionable.
No. Nah, dude, Hilly on Pike. What a treat. Here comes Elioya.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dive o'clock. Check your watches. No heal. What does your watch say, Dracos?
Watch says it's about time for a dive. No heal, no flash. They got to cleanse. But what are you going to cleanse? Oh, Marcoon's here in the area. Those could be a bit risky. They're going to try to finish off Dodge now, going for the pullback. Hylissang now going to go through. Marcoon could be in trouble.
So clean.
Good damage. Feathers pulling back for a bit more poke. Mad Lions don't think they can go for the redive.
I feel like Hilly's probably saying, get me this wave, we'll get level 3, and then we'll go for a redive or something. Or just proxy it in their face. And now SK's
the next
gonna
wave
have to
is
run
coming.
past. Ooh, there's the level 3. Now SK, You can't tank the next wave because they can dash over the wall with Lee Sin Pike. Oh, brother. Hold me, Dracos.
Man. They've locked them in the Thunderdome.
They're gonna get dove. Watch the hook.
Hook's gonna be big. Gonna pull Marcoon back now, gonna dash back into Marcoon and out to safety.
Okay.
Ghostwater dive, gonna ferry him away, so the redive will not happen.
No flash on Marcoon. Big action in the early stages. Will be really nice for Hilly to get that ward as well, just so they can keep pressuring, so Marcoon has to keep guessing as to where Mad Lions are. A lot of action early.
Yeah. And
Pike lane just gonna unlock Hilly on the map.
when a Pike lane takes over like this at level 1, not only can it start to spread its influence and take over the whole map, but bot lane, until you have your summoners back up, is essentially unplayable. Hylissang now coming into the Fog of War, clearing out the vision. Just them showing up in that bush means Surtus cannot walk up to the wave.
And the beauty of this is top wins in isolation. Kennen into Sion. Chasey will just push and poke, and he'll play his own game, so they'll have a very useful top laner later on. And they can just keep pressuring this mid-bot side, and it's only going to get worse when Niski gets his first base off, because they're ticking towards that level 6. No summoners on bot. They're going to play mid to bot and try to dive them again, but Hilly. Look at this E here. So I feel like Hilly flashed first. I don't want to... Oh my god. That reaction time. Whether it was a reaction time or a guess, that was fractions of a second. Then the dive setup was great. What they do is they go for DOS because he's dropped away from the tower. Elyoya saves his Q here because Marcoon can cancel in midair. Waits for the Q, finishes off the kill. Pop the heal. Hylissang uses the E to escape from tower range, get the wave, get level 3.
Just clean. Clean dive, landing skill shots, waiting around the enemy cooldowns. Very, very well played. And definitely the start that you want with a composition like this. Ender called it out. It's a competition that can be very feast or famine. But again, Pike getting a game started off like this when you have the Halo Blades is massive.
So, when's the next dive coming in? It looks like Elyoya is hovering around mid to make sure Niski can get that push. Checking that he's safe, and then he's going to bring the mid laner of Mad Lions with him. Trying to get this wave under tower. Not the biggest wave, but still it's a stack. Maybe a pink here would be good. If Elyoya can place one down and try to pressure, but yeah, there's a pink, so he knows that no vision. They did spot him on the last tick of the ward though, so they're going to back away. This pressure is unrelenting. They might need a relevant to... Nope, there's the TP top, so that's it.
So
stuck in a 4v4.
I mean, your one reliable late game scaling threat is Exekick. And he's just having such a hard time even approaching the wave right now. This constant dive pressure. Niski not even level 6 yet, and he's already starting to roam. He's already starting to get out of the lane.
This reminds me of Mad Lions from last year when they had Unforgiven on champions like Draven and Kalista. They would just constantly do this map movement. So with this Pike pick, they're trying to imitate the success they found last year on that bounce back from 7th place in spring to making Worlds in summer.
And again, for Mad Lions, the pressure really is on. It's been a bit disjointed from the team overall across this season, but in this game thus far, it's looking very clean. Need to keep that momentum stepping forward, though. Can be very tricky against a Zeri, but you've got the Kennen, you've got the Lissandra. You hit all your R buttons. As long as you got enough targets in the circle, you're going to find wins in these team fights.
And that'll transition into dragons, it'll transition into plates, and they need to keep up the pace and keep dictating this map.
Checking in on the top side of the map, of course, these are two players who we kind of used to talk about when we talk about these teams. Irrelevant on a signature Sion. Chasey again playing something a little bit more solo focused, but you can see that top stat is where I want to start. Jungle proximity, that's the amount of time their jungler spends around them. Both these guys, they get no attention. This is the top lane island. These are island boys without the bad face tattoos.
Everyone asks who they are, but they don't ask how they are, because no one ever visits their lane.
Nope, never.
So they're just sitting there in isolation, just duking it out.
Yep, and now it's going to be, can a Sion out teamfight value a Kennen, which is a
Hilly
tall
guess.
task.
Oh, the
Marcoon
guess.
over the wall.
He can't block it though. Not in time. Hilly looking for
Call's
Surtus.
coming out. Surtus has the stolen Lissandra ultimate, but now who's going to be able to turn this one around? Surtus just looking to find the initial lock-up on a Niski. Niski, if he ults too soon, could be in trouble, but he's going to E out. That's the Frozen Claw.
No mana on Surtus.
Hylissang again, another hook. Surtus no mana. That's the chain CC, the fall, but they don't quite have the damage. Hylissang needs to get out of that one. Ghostwater dive. What's the cooldown? He does not have it. They will burn through that health bar. Hylissang giveth and Hylissang taketh away.
Don't like him at his worst, you don't deserve him at his best. All in top.
Sion going for it. Chasey immediately going to throw down the ultimate, look for the chain CC just to make sure not a whole lot else can happen. Relevant still able to find the stun there. Big damage back onto the Kennen.
Yeah, playing with the Comet because he's against the range champ, really hard to play with Grasp, so he's just trying to poke him down. Plus 69 gold there on the Kennen, pretty nice. And Niski had a lot of access to a lot of tools there. He had the ult, he had the Ignite, but he didn't have enough mana to commit to the fight. There wasn't actually a target that they could lock down, and Elyoya is still level 5. Hilly was getting heavily focused down in that 3v4, so they had to back off. Yeah. So a little bit too aggressive there from Mad Lions. Need to tone it in a bit, but keep up the pressure.
Just checking in on the itemization top side, I like that we're seeing a Riftmaker come out. Just a little bit of extra sustain alongside the Cole. You heal a lot of the Scion trading. I think the way that you can lose to Scion and all-ins is you get down to like 50% HP, and even if you're full AP Kennen, he's just going to ult into you, hit you once with a full rotation, you'll get knocked out. So opting for that sustain, even if it does hurt your team fight impact, makes the lane phase that much stronger.
Herald's up. You can see Elioya's up towards his top side, gets level 6 off blue buff, going to go over to the Gromp. Marcoon finishing the red will get level 6 too. Maybe both junglers want to impact something on the top side, look for a kill or blow a flash and push them back to get this Herald, but it looks like Marcoon's going to base here. He doesn't have a ward to place down, but there is a pink actually that he's put down in the back of the pit, so as he starts it up here, Lee Sin will be spotted on vision. Exekick and DOS are ready to move up the river, but they're going to go back towards the bot side of the map, so this should just be a free Herald here for Mad Lions, which they will then invest on the bot side of the map for Carzzy and Hilly.
Hilly getting close to level 6, actually just ticking over to level 5, so still a bit of time before he'll tick over to level 6, but that's going to be a big break point. The execution potential to come through, and see if Hylissang can start to roam and be more active on the map, or continue to roam and be more active on the map in this case as he starts to turn his attentions towards the mid lane. Elioya uncontested again, finishing the Herald, grabbing the local gold, and we'll see. I think your prediction's probably spot on. You can look to focus the bottom side of the map as Certus can really never E forward when he's not sure where Hylissang is.
It's the pressure of having bot push and controlling the bot side river, especially with a champion like Pyke, always can get up and down that river so quickly. Boots of Swiftness, the W.
Yep.
SK will get pushed on the bounce when they move out of lane like this, but what can they play for right now? The Zeri and the Lulu are in the river, but Niski's never really under any threat. Certus can't take away the ult just yet, I believe. It's probably still on cooldown. So they can sweep out the vision. Marcoon wants to look for a play though, see if Niski face checks the bot side, but he goes towards the top side instead, where he has the vision, where he feels safe, and he'll take a base of his own. So this push and pull. SK now have the push. See if they can find a play. And he's still lurking in the river. Exekick straight
going
into his
over
face.
the wall into Hylissang. Hylissang immediately going to back away, not going to take any potential bait there, knowing that Vi, as well as the Silas, could be coming down.
Niski coming out of base is going to be the next turn for Mad Lions once he pushes out that mid wave, team up with Elioya and move into this bot side. Top crab's up, which would be nice, but he needs to stay on this bot side of the map, I feel like, Elioya. If he does go top side, his bot side might be a little bit vulnerable, because Certus can move down. They have the entrance pink control. If they can get a wave in bot, they can find a dive of their own, which is not ideal when you're playing Lee Sin Lissandra. You really want to be the ones to be pressuring that. Maybe they're hoping that the Lee Sin face checks them here somewhere. But yeah, he's on the other side.
And while the dive is a little bit difficult, because the Xayah is such a hard target to lock down, if they ever catch Hilly out, very squishy, no way to get out of the CC. Then again, though, so much mobility that it's hard to ever find that opportunity to connect. Vi, of course, one of the champions that can just take away so much of what Pyke wants to bring to the table. Not quite the Camille in terms of hard counter, but definitely strong interactions.
Level 6. The amount of damage this jungle mid support of Mad have is incredible. They'll burst someone down in a chain CC. Now they're the ones looking for the pick, looking for Marcoon. Whichever jungler face checks first is basically dead. So they both want to hide, but they know that Elioya's in this bush.
Going over the wall, locked up immediately. Go for Lissandra, all burst through the Lee before anything else can get done. Niski just a little bit late on the ultimate. He needs to make his way out of that play.
That's the power of the Sylas into Lissandra. Whatever you can do, I can do better. And with the Vi chain CC as well, yeah, either of these junglers, whoever gets spotted first is just blown up in an instant. Niski still has access to that Ignite. He used his ult there, so that hinders a lot of the playmaking towards mid, but Certus invested the flash to gap close. Need to wait for those ults to come back up, and then Mad Lions can start the pressure again, but SK doing very well to fight back.
Yeah, and not really giving any more windows of opportunity for Hylissang. Flashing forward here on the bot side, seeing their window of opportunity open up as Hylissang's been spotted mid, at least poking Carzzy out of lane for now. Feather's still down, so Exekick starting to play up in the lane a little bit.
Oh.
Hylissang now on the repeat, though. They may have overstayed their welcome. A flash on DOS indeed. Hook now going to go in. Instant Phantom Undertow for the fall. Wild Growth should not be enough here. Niski going to come over the wall with the claw. It's hidden in the wall. They can't see it coming, but they don't have the tools to respond, even if they did. That's the snare now going in. Elioya with the follow-up on the kick. DOS! Clean sidestep, but it will not stop the reset. Hylissang finding that extra money.
Herald plays down. Certus wants to hover down as well, but his ultimate's not up yet. Maybe could look to take the Pyke ult, get some work done, but the Herald will crash. Carzzy will step up for the gold. Not sure if they can commit for the full tower. Looks like they might do, but SK setting up a small trap here with Marcoon and Certus lying in wait if they do commit. Smartly, Mad Lions decide to back away, and they'll lose a dragon for this maybe, but Niski's just TP back with a Rod of Ages and a stopwatch. His ult probably coming up soon as well. Elioya's as well.
6 seconds on Marcoon's ult. Hylissang has to be a bit careful.
Maybe they can fight this. They have to buy time for the Lee Sin and the Lissandra burst. See if they want to contest this. Elioya can look for the steal, but Marcoon will ult him straight away. Carzzy's far. They don't know that Exekick's basing though.
They're a bit split here on this play. DOS in the area as well. They just need to back off on this one. Good call. Not going to overcommit.
Yeah.
Get a little time for Niski in the mid lane to free hit. Maybe gets a plate. There it is.
Not enough timing on the ults for the Lissandra. And all the meanwhile in isolation, Chasey's just trying to get a small CS lead in top. Not really much either top laner can do. Irrelevant used the ult there off screen and chunked out Chasey. We saw Sion's base and ult towards bot, then TP back towards the top side, but now he won't be able to do that kind of play. Plating's falling off in a minute's time. Bot tower will probably fall here for SK now that Mad Lions are in this river. A lot of tempo invested by SK to get that dragon. Stop that soul stacking. But now the tower will fall, and we'll see how Mad Lions move their bot lane around this map.
Yeah, if they want to open up, they want to put Carzzy in the mid lane, free up Hylissang to roam even more, but that means putting Lissandra on side. We'll see what the option is going to be for the team at this stage of the game. Right now, the Mad Lions, significant lead. SK have done well to match back in some of these plays, and even though it is 2-2 in terms of overall kill score, a lot more plates and objectives falling in the favor of Mad Lions.
So, Carzzy's moving mid. Nisqy doesn't have the TP, so maybe they put him towards top side, or depends which lane they're playing for. Ideally, they play for top, but Chase doesn't have TP either. Irrelevant's taking over mid while Certus is top. SK's lane assignments are really weird here. They've left their Zeri all alone. Luckily for XKick, it's only Hilly, but it could have been a lot worse with the information that they currently have. Herald's up in a minute. Seems like they're looking for Chasey. Pink ward's there. Should spot both the jungle and mid laner.
No ultimate, but an ultimate that can't be stolen away. Chasey, Riftmaker finally coming out, so a bit more sustained in the matchup, but they've opted to put the Silas into him now.
It's kind of awkward for Mad. There's no objective bot side, so Nisqy's pushed out and he's based. Hopefully he moves towards mid-top now so they can start pressuring an objective, try to pressure that tier 1 top, fight this Herald. Irrelevant's going to have to push out bot and match him in the next 30 seconds, and we might have a 5v5 on our hands. Mad Lions trying to get rid of a lot of this vision, but that one ward in the middle of the river, unspotted. No Umberglaive for Hilly, no sweeper either. It's only Nisqy with the sweeper. Let's see if he pops it. He does, so they get that one ward. And now all the vision for SK is gone on this top side. I think their idea here is let's hit bot tower with Sion. Let's lean down there with the Zeri and the Vi. And we'll drop this Herald. But they're playing on 2 lanes here, Mad Lions. They can get top tower, they can look for mid tower, they can look for Herald. There's a plethora of objectives ready for them to pick up. And Certus is a bit exposed. TP ready for the Sion.
Has the cannon ultimate. Koi versus BDS upcoming, but I'm not sure if there's a stopwatch upcoming. Check the inventory in a moment.
Early TP.
Certus, no stopwatch available, no chance to burn the cannon ultimate. They're trying to shred his health bar before he can push the R button. He'll try to fire back. Irrelevant now here, trying to burn through Nisqy. Nisqy going gold in a brief moment, but the Sion will get nothing back. Marcoon waiting in the darkness. But there is no play to be had here. Mad Lions finding the dive, finding 2 kills.
Pixel perfect. Certus was in the animation of his W, ready to heal up, but he died as he was dashing forwards. That means that not only do Mad Lions get 2 kills, but they keep their bot tower alive. Irrelevant had to TP up here. They get top tower of their own. They're going to get this Herald. Mid tower is extremely low, so now this game has just been blown wide open.
Absolutely has. Top of that, so much of the power of this team we didn't even really get to see. Carzzy 1k ahead individually, 1.1k now for Hilly. Natural when a Pyke is getting these kills, getting these resets, but once Umberglaive comes online, that's going to be big for the vision game.
So TP's coming in and Nisqy just says, we can one-shot him, just trust me. Let's just blow everything onto this Silas, and they can. Watch his HP here. He's going to dash W here. Gets so close to get the heal, but dies in the animation. Nisqy with the stopwatch to stop the Sion Q. Hylissang and Carzzy have arrived to make sure the kill happens. Marcoon and XKick a little bit too late. They were hovering towards the bot side of the map. Mad with the vision can always get there first with this Herald in their back pocket. I expect them to use it for a side lane tier 2. 600 gold on either the Lissandra or the Kennen would be big. And that mid tower they can slowly start to chip away at. They need to get XKick's flash or cleanse so that he can't walk up this confidently on the mid waves. And then they can pressure them out, look for these Drake stacks. See how SK can respond, grouping up with the Vi. And the Silas would be ideal, but Certus is up towards the top side. His TP is coming up now. Nisqy has the ult on this weak side. Chasey no TP. See if he can live in this 1v3, 1v4. Could even be a 1v5 at this point.
So much pressure going down onto him. No one in Mad Lions in the area. Nisqy taking his time. Is going to get turned into a little critter, but will still manage to get the ulti off and fits for the snare here. Nisqy, what's the angle to go? He's going to try to frozen path back out into Marcoon. He will eventually drop. Irrelevant going to grab that kill.
A lot invested though. SK not confident enough to go for the tower. Yes, they are. They've stopped their bases. They're going to commit to this. Dragon's in 30 seconds. Mad Lions will look to chase them down slowly to make them run all the way back to base to buy them enough time to get this dragon. Chasey doesn't have TP. If he did, they could commit to a fight here, but maybe they go anyway. Certus no TP.
A lot of low health bars.
No shield bow on XKick either. Marcoon has no ult.
Pyke
Can they win this? 4v3
Carzzy on the backside. Is he going to be ready? The initial CC hits. He doesn't even push ult. It might be too late. Though the health bars are Carzzy going back in. XKick firing back in response. But here comes Hylissang. Just waiting. Fishing for the angle. For now, going to set his sights on the Sion. Has the ulti. Could go for XKick, but doesn't want to overcommit here. No, he does.
Hilly wants more, doesn't he? Oh, he ults for the gap close. Oh, hits the creep though. Really wanted that Sion. Chasey pushed out mid. All the meanwhile, Dragon's up. That should be an easy objective for Mad. 3v4, very close. If Hilly was in range for that death from below onto Exekick, he could have got a reset and found a lot more kills there.
A lot more money as well, but for now, Mad Lion's going to be happy with Chemtech Drake, Chemtech Soul. Pretty clearly the weakest Soul overall, but when you're this far ahead, you're not going to be too concerned. Happy to take the free Drake on the back of the play. And this is tough now. So you got Lysandra just about at 2 items, you got Xayah at 2 items, and you can see, you highlighted it, it takes so many resources to dive Niski.
Yeah. This frame here, the Scion Q charge up almost gets the knock up. Canceling the TP by Hilly made that play a whole lot sweeter. Niski gets the self-ult, Markoon has to drop, the next gets rooted, he has to drop, the shield both saves him. Then Irrelevant tanks, he doesn't mind too much. They commit to the tower, so that means they're overstaying. Mad tried to collapse on the 3v4. They don't have vision though, so you can see Hilly trying to get wards down so they can spot them, but DOS using pinks and the sweeper to stop them from being able to see where SK are. Then it becomes a bit of like shooting fish in a barrel because X-Kick's so far away. Nice chain CC onto cards. He lives on 1 HP with the heal. E-Flash gets DOS, tries to get the Gale Force with the autos onto X-Kick. Hilly here doesn't want to commit with the ult, just looks for Irrelevant, gets his flash. TP invested by Niski just in case, and SK get out.
Clean flash out from Irrelevant. Ultimately good from SK that they're able to salvage that play. It could have been disastrous as you highlighted. Right now the gold still very clearly in the favor of Mad, but given their carries more times to scale up on the side of SK. Don't know if it gets much easier though as the Kennen gets more items, Lysandra gets more items. And this is going to be a tricky one to navigate. SK keep having to find these fights where they can approach, they can outplay maybe some of the CC that's present, because this is a tough game to play if you're Markoon right now. Can't go on Lysandra, can't really go on Kennen. Hard to go on Xayah outside of that last scenario we saw. Now maybe the play going to come out there and instantly just try to chain CC, and they find Carzzy! They push the buttons too damn good. He can't even get the chance to ultimate. Wild Growth now coming out. They're trying to body block the Lee Sin. Chasey waiting over the wall. Irrelevant. One man in the face of Lysandra just charging forward. Frozen Subjugation. Not even going to get a chance to come out here. Instant E over the wall. He threw it through the wall, folks. You might not have seen it, but Niski had it prepped.
Elyoya's alright as well. Dashing over the wall towards Chasey. He hasn't really found the big cannon flank yet, but he's building up to it. Still has the flash. 2 items strong. SK don't want to overcommit. Nice play there on the defense. Looking for that mid tier 2. They managed to hold on to it. A lot of creeps in top side that they can pick up as well. It's the small wins that matter when you're this far behind. Just chain CC. You can see the Sylas taking away the Lysandra ult. Hilly's marking Markoon on the side, so they know that this engage is coming. A bit of disrespect here. Way too far forwards. Q flash means that Carzzy can't react in time with the ult. And he is taken out, and with their carry down, Mad Lions only really rely on burst from the Lee Sin and Lysandra, which is not sustainable against 4 or 5 members. Have to evacuate.
Yeah, good on Niski to be able to make it out of that one. Of course, now at 2 items. Chasey could be in trouble here. So just on the top side, going to leap in with the stolen Kennen. Ultimate trading stuns for stun, but Markoon already there to body block. Chasey now running out. Going to fish for a second stun here as soon as he has the cooldown, but it's too little. It's too late. Chasey getting taken down here on the top side. Irrelevant, a tough target to burn through. Until Carzzy's in the area, he is really just not under threat. SK right now, this is looking like a damn good fight for them. Burning all the cooldowns onto DOS, so immediately the support is now gone, but Hillsang has managed to find the reset. Irrelevant now going to be in trouble, fishing for the knockup of the Gale Force. Coming through for Carzzy. Niski off to the side, goes golden, but he's in the waiting arms of SK, but now the turn coming out. Passive resets for the Pyke and the Lysandra. Ready to keep this fight going. X-Kick and Markoon backing away. Mad Lions cleanly taking the fight.
Turning towards the Baron. Markoon doesn't have smite. Mad Lions do not know that Elyoya's will be up by the time the Baron gets low enough HP. SK could try to threaten the 2v4. No TPs available for 25 seconds. Hilly just trying to zone them away. Markoon kind of faking here that he can smite this. Trying to force Mad Lions back. So Mad are a bit unsure. Do they just go for the flip? If they do, they'll win it.
Should come out on top. Hillsang trying to zone as much as he can. Ulti reset is faded away, but that's going to be Baron for Mad Lions. 21 minutes to the game, 7K in their favor.
Good patience as well, making sure they wait for the Vi Q just in case. And the second they see that, they know she has no flash, no way into that pit. Good fight from Mad Lions on this top side. Looked a little bit bad in the initiation because obviously Chasey fell to Certus and Markoon, but DOS instantly getting blown up, not able to use any of those abilities to protect X-Kick, to have the confidence to go forwards. And we'll see it again. It was the TP coming in after the pick. I think Niski, you can see him on bot wave here. It looks like Irrelevant's fighting Elyoya off to the side. X-Kick's there as well. It's a 2v2 in the river. And Niski says, let's go for the engage. The hook probably lands, and then they just TP in after Chasey dies. DOS is around, but again, Lee Sin Lysandra mid-game can just blow up anyone. X-Kick's really split off to the side.
Yeah, no real angle for X-Kick to come to this fight. Let's see if he can actually do anything here. Split fight, immediate burst. Pyke gets the alt reset. Lysandra gets the frozen subjugation. So the Thrall's going to move in here and slow 2 members.
Stop watching.
Niski buys so much time. And again, this is what makes this composition so hard to play against. There's so many fantastic defensive tools that SK can't just pick and blow up a single target in the way that they want to.
Barrier as well. Spellbook Lysandra can buy a lot of time looking for this top tier 2, but they're sieging 5v5. It's really hard to break a tower on a siege 5v5, even though you're this far ahead. Because you have to commit to the dive to stop them from wave clearing. Instead, they're going to back away here. Carzzy not able to pick up an item just yet, still sitting at 2.5. When he gets that Bloodthirster, he's going to be almost untouchable. 10 seconds on this next dragon. Reset, pick that up, get yourselves on soul points, control the map. Both these side lane tier 2s is where Mad Lions want to focus. Nice bot wave is setting up as well, if they can get to that in time.
No. Do they want to go? I think go through bot first, maybe get the dragon set up. They should be able to get both bot tower and dragon here.
Is it going to be the hilly split push on Pyke again? It might be while they go towards dragon. But SK trying to answer on the top side. Obviously, they don't have the Baron, and there's still a tower up here. So it's going to take them a while before they can start threatening any kind of base crack on the inhibitors. But both their solo lanes are here. Both of them have TP. Carzzy soloing the dragon. Elyoya and Niski ready to punish whoever walks up this bot side tower.
I think it's a good play from SK ultimately. You're not really going to be able to respond to that bot side tier 2 and the dragon, so might as well get something back in return. You could sit here and be a spectator to the tower falling, but don't need to commit too many resources yet. We'll see if this could cost Exekick and DOS though. If Mad Lions want to pull the trigger, they have a brief window here before Vi comes in.
Here's the hilly split push. He's buffing mid waves, trying to threaten this inhibitor tower, but he can't walk up and hit it. He just makes it so Certus takes longer to wave clear, and then Hilly can run bot, and then they have a numbers advantage for a short window where they can force something. In this case, it doesn't work out as well, but they're
the wall, will not go in, faking it for now. Elyoya trying to back away. Certus is stolen away the ultimate. They're going to try to lock up Carzzy, but this time Carzzy goes up into the air. This time Carzzy is ready. He's firing in to Certus. He's pulling back the feathers, but Certus going golden. In the meantime, Irrelevant is split him off. Chasey now going to be in trouble. Mad Lions overall, fighting fire with fire here. 2 members still standing for the side of SK. Irrelevant and Exekick versus the world. Hylissang gonna get locked up, gonna get knocked up, but he has the dash back out to safety. Phantom Undertow taking him away. Exekick leaping forward, but into the waiting kick. There's no room left to play. Exekick gets one back in response, but Mad Lions still taking a commanding advantage in that exchange.
2 for 4. Baron buff is worn off. Irrelevant can try to wave clear here, but he's gonna take a lot of damage if he does. Trying to push this wave back as far as possible. Manages to land the Q. Do they have the damage here, Mad Lions, to get the kill? Looks like they will in the end. Flash away. Does Elyoya follow it? Yes, he does.
Irrelevant. Very hard to kill. Jackshow gonna proc just in time to give him a bit extra health. DOS on the way in. The tower going down, and Mad Lions need to retreat.
Tough fight for SK. I feel like the engage was just really split. Irrelevant Sion ult, just cashing in there all the gold. Irrelevant Sion ult not arriving in time. You saw Marcoon go in, Certus go in, and yeah, Irrelevant just wasn't there. So let's watch Marcoon here on the Vive. Almost dies. Wild Growth saves him. Certus off to the left, instantly flashed in, but they're going 2-man into 3 or 4 members. So by the time they've both died, now Irrelevant's here. SK really split up. They want to make sure they have some kind of front to back going on. And the Vi Silas can flank so that the Zeri can find space to work with, but the only space that they found was onto the cannon. And the 2v4, they don't really stand a chance. Exekick flashing forwards here, trying to commit to the kill, knowing he's already dead probably. Try and get one in return.
You do what you got to. Trying to hold on, trying to delay the base from being broken open, as that's the big pressure point that they may struggle to deal with. They do not have great, reliable wave clear in the face of the Baron. Sion's beefy health bar, their best option paired with that Q. Let's see what the option is. Again, Mad Lions pulling further and further ahead. 9k advantage, soul point in 2.5 minutes. Or soul, rather, in 2.5 minutes.
No Baron for 1 minute 20. I think that's where Mad Lions want to set up, so that's why they're hovering on this top side of the map. Maybe a couple top waves that they can play on once they push SK back into their base. DOS gonna get hit by the hook.
Gonna find the hook. DOS locked up. DOS taken out. Now Marcoon force feels like he has to re-engage. Maybe they can burst through Carzzy. Exekick sidestepping the feathers. Gonna be big. Carzzy taken out here in the exchange. It could be enough. The reset's now coming in. Frozen subjugation. Chasey desperate to get more kills. Desperate to get more taken out. The Thrall gonna do a bit of damage to Irrelevant. The knockup's still coming. It takes them so long to burn through this Sion. But Hylissang, does he have the alt reset ready? He does not. Certus now keeping this one going forward. Exekick, all eyes on Exekick. All eyes on this area. Going over the wall, fishing for Hylissang. Desperate to finish this one off. Certus on the backside. They don't quite have the damage. Going in. He can't follow the kick. He's got nothing left. The Ultra Shock Laser will not connect. Exekick holding on. SK holding on in the fight.
Gonna have to back away now though. 1 minute 40 seconds on that Dragon Baron up in 30. 2 for 1. They got Carzzy down, but they lost so much in the exchange for that kill. Exekick had a lot of space to work with. Look at his items. If he had Infinity Edge there, that was a wipe for SK. Just a little bit behind on gold. They should be able to pick it up on this base now, but you can see when there's a front to back and Exekick has members in front of him where he can start stepping up, he can do a hell of a lot of damage. Nice that they got Carzzy down. I'm actually surprised they managed to find Carzzy because DOS dies instantly again. Pulled back from the feathers, gone. Carzzy then pops the ult here after Marcoon gets the chain CC up. I thought he was fine here, Carzzy, once the ults, but then they commit. Sion Q was perfect. Exekick gets the kill, shut down over, and then here comes the 3v3. Hylissang's off to the side. XKick has to disengage, and Mad want to drop the Zeri stacks here. XKick wants to keep them up, so they really want to keep fighting. The Zeri stacks do eventually fall off, so that's why Mad are advantage, but kick from Certus was really good. Chain CC was layered. Chasey almost goes down. XKick has to dash over the wall here to dodge the stun. And then in this 1v2, 1v3, he does win. Has the shield bow up still.
I mean, so tense. Ultimately, Mad Lion still trading positively in that fight, but you can see the threat of this area, especially now that she's ticked over to 3 items.
Yeah.
They can't afford to misplay or misposition, even with this massive of a gold lead.
10,000, but SK putting up a fight. Big spikes for Mad Lions,
But
though.
it's kind of a bait because 3.4k of that is Hilly's individual lead.
True, but also the spikes. Look at Kennen and Lissandra so close to Rabadon's. Elyoya's really close to that GA. Mad could just stall the game out a little bit, wait for those massive spikes, and then the fight will be a lot more in their favor because of raw item gold value. Don't think SK are that far behind, looking at their champions as well.
Yeah. I think the other big thing is Lord Dominic's for Carzzy. That's the thing we have to keep our eyes on because the death cap's going to help, but Sion is really one of the big problems in these fights, the fact that they can't just burst through Irrelevant. The second you have that Dominic's, it's going to get so easy for Carzzy to shred.
Niski.
Trying to go through the Sion right now. Knockup going to come out onto Niski. Marcoon in trouble is going to ult back onto the Lissandra. Not an ideal target, but they're going to try to keep the fight going. Niski's still in the midst of everybody. Carzzy now stepping forward. This should just be a slaughter in favor of Mad. XKick untouched on the backside, but every single member of his team getting knocked down. Certus running away with a blinking health bar. XKick the only one relatively unharmed, but an easy fight for the Mad Lions.
Both carries live. Certus on a slither of HP. XKick really can't walk up. Doss is struggling in these fights. Every single time he tries to play by the side of his AD carry, he's just getting melted, blown up. Any ultimate lands on him, he's gone. Chasey didn't even use the Kennen ult in that fight, and it was really one-sided. That's Soul for Mad. It might be Baron as well. 20 seconds on Elyoya, but no smites apiece. Niski could swap over with Spellbook if he has it up. Looks like they're going to base. We'll check in with live just in a second, but Niski just playing slow here, just using the root onto Irrelevant so that Carzzy can step up and hit. Now watch Doss and XKick on the backline. It looks good because they can step up. Marcoon gets an ult because he has to go in here or he's dead. But then Doss just instantly dies again. Flash from Niski, ults himself. Doss gets kicked back, knocked up, whatever it is, he's gone. And now the Zeri's playing alone, no Enchanter by our side, can't really step up. Triple kill for Carzzy.
Yeah, and credit to Carzzy. He's got caught out once or twice. He's had a couple of moments where he could have ulted. It was a little bit sloppy, but for the most part has been very clean. 8, 3, and 6. Matching a lot of what XKick has been able to do in these fights. And it's rough position for XKick because it really does feel like it's all eyes on him. But yeah, as you highlighted, Doss getting picked off. There is so much damage on this composition that he really cannot afford to get caught out by anyone. Literally any single member of that team will one-shot him if he's missteps.
I mean, ideally, if he can walk up and polymorph the Kennen or Lissandra, that'll do wonders for SK, but I think he just needs to, at this point, just play really far back. No flash, no heal. He has nothing. If he walks up and polymorphs, he's going to get instantly blown up, so he needs to play behind XKick, make sure that he's safe, and follow in his footsteps as to where he decides to go in these fights, where he wants to maneuver. Baron's up, Mad Lion's going to take control of this topside jungle. No tier 2 means defending these pinks becomes really, really hard. SK going to be pushed back into their base. They could pick up this tower on top lane that's really low before they move into this Baron pit. I think SK will probably have to give that up, but XKick's getting really close to that Bloodthirst, or 4-item Zeri with the lifesteal.
The potential carry is there. Marcoon doing what he can to hold on. Threat of the claw, but not the actual. Will not follow up. Irrelevant forced to flashback on safety. Mad Lions can play this slow.
They really want to defend this SK. I don't think they should. Need to run away.
On the tower. Irrelevant going to zoom out to safety. Shirelia's used, limiting some of the disengage or re-engage potential from the side of SK.
No TP on Irrelevant. I think SK just hoping for a miracle here, hoping they can get XKick to that Bloodthirster before the next fight. Chasey's taking a base. He has the TP. Wards behind SK if they walk into their own jungle. On the top side, needs to be very careful if they decide to walk into that darkness. They're going to have to face check eventually, but they've got no blue orbs, actually. 4 sweepers, and their blue orb from XKick's on cooldown.
Going on the XKick. That's going to be big. They won't follow up with the kick. Irrelevant just setting up the Q in case Lee Sin does try to follow up. Now the retreat coming out. Chasey looking to chase down Irrelevant. Sion isolated. What will it mean for the team, though? Is there any actual fight here to be had? If they're going to get the TP out from Certus as well, but again, there's no fight here. Easy pick off onto the Sion. They got more than enough pen now to burst through that life bar. All that extra health, all this resistance is just not meaning much at this stage of the game.
Marcoon going to go in here. It's 4v5. There's no way they're going to be able to turn that. Lissandra ult's on cooldown, yes, but Chasey's got a fantastic position off to the side. They walk in this choke. He's going to flash over that wall with the Kennen ultimate. They're going to go mid instead, see if they can get that tier 1. Niski, Hilly, and Chasey will not allow it as Elyoya and Carzzy solo out the Baron. Do they really want to give up this tower? Mad look confident enough to step up, get the wave. The tower will fall, but now SK's on the wrong side of the map. Zeri can jump over the wall.
No, should be okay for now.
They're going to chase him, though. No TP on Irrelevant.
Chasing down to the jungle, trying to finish off the red buff. I think just trying to run out to safety. Waiting on the blast cone is going to just instantly proc it. Does not wait. Good call overall. So SK retreating for now, but that's Baron, that's Chemtech Soul, 10k gold lead for Mad Lions. There's not a lot left for them to accrue in terms of advantages on the map.
This should be it. This should be enough for Mad to end the game. Fights are going back and forth. All of them Mad Lions favored, but not enough to crack the base open or look for the end. Does net them all these neutral objectives, though.
And remember, if Mad Lions win here, the percentage of remaining scenarios where they get a tiebreaker, at a minimum, to make it into top 8 is 90.6%. So just about guaranteeing themselves a tiebreaker. We'll see what else they can do in their games to come. But ultimately, big stakes here. On the opposite side for SK, they would lock themselves as well as Koi in the top 8. Two teams could have been locked in this game. You talked about it. Koi probably watching this one would have been happy to be locked in, but right now it seems less and less likely as Mad Lions, in the final moments of our regular season, seem to have found their footing. Hylissang stepping up. Carzzy ready to throw out some damage. You can see Irrelevant, not a tank anymore. Just getting shredded. That's 2 autos.
Siege is coming in. Mad are going 5-man on this top side again. No split push available. SK should be able to hold for a little bit. Mad might have to step up here and get really confident.
But going in, they're just going to burn through Marco. But now Irrelevant going in, look for the setup. Certos, is the ult going to be enough? Trying to burst through the cannon before the cannon can respond in kind. Cannon all now coming out, but they just don't have the damage. Zeri going over the wall, but the stun already coming through. A clean kick from Elyoya. Exekick running, Exekick trying to stand and deliver, but he does not have the damage. He does not have the health bar, and he is out of time. Mad Lions keeping their top 8 dreams alive as they tear through SK in this game. Hylissang Pike absolutely delivering.
Gonna end here. It's only DOS left. Baron up creeps. 4 versus 1. DOS is just running away from the base, popping emotes. He knows it's done and dusted. It's really gonna hurt Exile and Heretics this win, but Mad Lions punch themselves to 3, and they're tying with Fnatic now.
Huge win. You can see elation on the faces of many members. Carzzy calm, cool, collected at the end of the day.
Much needed win for Mad, and they picked it up.
Absolutely, and it's weird because the level of execution we saw from Mad today, I forgot for the vast majority of that game that this was a team that was fighting to make it into top 8 whatsoever. This was the level Mad I think we're expected to come in at, and the level that they've struggled to show across the vast majority of spring, but you can show up when it counts. That's what matters most.
They finished 2nd in winter, so as much championships points as they can get is what they need. Locking top 8 is the first step in that journey to MSI. And just accruing as many as possible.
You guys are fine. The camera's not. You're